Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to jump into the Cowboys Saints Showdown Slate here on Draftkings. Before we get into this one, as always, if you have any questions for me, season-long, Draftkings, Daily Fantasy, it doesn't matter what site, FanDuel, Yahoo, let me know in the comment section below. I'm happy to give y'all any advice that I can. And then on your way down to the comment section, I am also curious to know one question, though. This is 9:49 on Sunday morning. This video should be up by 10:15, I would think, at the latest. If this is an okay upload time, about 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning for y'all to see this video before the Showdown Slate, let me know in the comment section below. This is much easier for me than to try to stress and do it after work Saturday night or yesterday. So if I could do this, that would be ideal for me. But let me know if this is enough time from, it's only going to be 11 hours or 10 and a half hours before the game starts. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. On your way down there, though, there is a little thumbs up button. If you can click that, I greatly appreciate it. The support's been really great on these Showdown videos. Let's jump right into this one, though. I'm going to be pretty short with this because I'm trying to be as definitive as possible. So I'm going to try my best not to talk about every single possibility on the slate here. But my favorite captain on the slate is going to be Amari Cooper. He's going to see about 30% of his time, he's going to see Marshawn Lattimore tonight. The other 70 should be split between P.J. Williams and Eli Apple. I expect him to see Eli Apple at least 45% of his routes, and then 30-35 between Lattimore and P.J. Williams. I just see Amari Cooper getting a lot of time on Eli Apple, who's had a decent start to the year, but he's not that guy. So I think Amari Cooper is my favorite captain on the whole slate here. And then if I play him in captain, I am going to really want Dak below him. It just makes sense because this New Orleans front's no joke. They do have a strong running defense. Granted, it's Ezekiel Elliott. So, I mean, you can't say like, hey, Zeke's playing against a hard run defense. I can't play Zeke. It doesn't work that way. Zeke's always going to have 100+ and multiple touchdown upside. So I do like Ezekiel Elliott as a little bit more of a contrarian captain. I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing him in captain in tournaments. I think the more popular route, kind of like the Devontae Adams route that I took on Thursday night, I think Amari Cooper is going to be the more popular route to go, or maybe even Kamara. But those are my three favorite captains between Amari Cooper, Alvin Kamara, and Zeke. Between those three, I'm going to leave it kind of up to you. My personal favorite is going to be Cooper, like I said. But then I'm going to plug in Dak below him, and then we have to run it back with either Michael Thomas or Alvin Kamara. I want to see what the salaries look like because there is a huge price gap, $2,600 difference between Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. If we were to plug in Kamara here, we have a 3,900 average. I mean, that's an expensive top three players, but I mean the upside is insane, so I'm okay with it, and I'm also okay with maybe even double kicking it, and then you can get up to Ted Ginn. I mean, that looks kind of funky, but at the same time, if both kickers score 7+, let's say they both score 7, Ted Ginn might break a long touchdown or something like that. That's 40 yards, 10 points if he scores. So if Ted Ginn gets 10, they both get 7. That's 28. And then these top three guys could combine for 100, to be honest with you. I mean, with Cooper in the captain spot, it could be an easy 40, 30 from Prescott, 30 from Kamara. I don't hate that at all. If we took out these bottom three, what else could we do with this? I think the kickers are viable, though. I just want to be clear on that. I think the kickers are definitely viable plays. I'm not going to have a whole lot of these mid-price guys in here. I would say between Cobb and Pollard, I'm not really going to have a lot of them. Out of these other Dallas wide receivers or just pass catchers, I'm going to include Witten in this little snippet. But I think Jason Witten is probably going to be my favorite between Devin Smith, Witten, and Randall Cobb. I just don't want to pay up for Randall Cobb at $7,000. We just haven't seen the volume. I think Devin Smith had more targets than Cobb did last week. Cobb had 4 targets, 2 catches on him. And then I think, let's see, where is Devin Smith? 5 targets last week. Granted, it's against Miami. Minuscule sample size against the worst team in the league. So it could go either way. I think Randall Cobb's going to be on P.J. Williams or be lined up with P.J. Williams for the most of this game. Devin Smith might actually see the most of Marshawn Lattimore out of any of these 3 wide receivers for Dallas. So he's going to have a tougher matchup. Randall Cobb's going to have an easier matchup, but Jason Witten, I just think the floor is there. I mean, he's just being consistently targeted 4 or 5 times if he gets that, and 8 to 10 points. I'm okay with it for 5,800, but I'm not going to have a lot of exposure to those mid-tier guys because I'm going to be trying to get these, my top 3 players are going to be pretty high price, so I'm going to have to kind of go down. And the only savings I can see on the slate, um, there's no Dallas Goedert on this slate. The only savings I can see is maybe playing Blake Jarwin and praying that he catches a ball or two for 20 or 30 yards. Um, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, but I mean, it lets you save up. Um, you're going to have to pick between him, Josh Hill. Um, I'm not really going to be able to take any of these guys down here. Not any of them. I just don't see it as an option. Taysom Hill, even if he scores a touchdown and does some of the gadgety, if he gets a 20-yard toss that goes in for a touchdown or something like that. I mean, it's only like 8 points, and you're paying 2,600 for him. So it's like, would you rather hope that he gets that 8 points, or maybe Blake Jarwin steals a touchdown and pay 1,600 less? I'm okay with playing Jarwin. I don't like it, but again, it's a punt that allows you to get up to somebody else. It's just a different way to go rather than kicker Ted Ginn. If we were to go Jarwin and Lutz, that actually gets us up to Randall Cobb. I don't hate that at all. You have a lot of the Dallas pass catchers. You have Cobb, you have Jarwin, and you have Coop, obviously with Prescott, and then you have the New Orleans kicker and Alvin Kamara. So I definitely don't hate that. If we got off of Will Lutz, we could even split it up a little bit better. We could go like Ted Ginn and Jason Witten. I don't see this being a big salary on the table kind of night, though. And real quick, I wanted to mention this. Blake Jarwin and Jason Witten could both get a touchdown tonight. I really look to be unique in these showdown lineups, so I wanted to mention it. Running Jarwin and Witten in the same lineup is going to be one of the most low-owned combinations probably on the slate. It's going to be like one of the, if not the lowest owned combo on the slate. If you look at them both, they're probably not going to be highly owned, but them together is going to be extremely low owned. If they were to both get a touchdown and you have both in your lineup, maybe even Dak at captain over Cooper or something like that, that could win you the showdown slate rather than splitting the prize. If you ran it like that, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with it. The only other way I would approach this slate without Cooper or Dak at captain would be with Kamara. Well, I don't love Dak at captain. That was just kind of an example. If you want to try to be a little bit more contrarian, but I mean, I would probably prefer Kamara at captain just because he's only 300 more than Zeke, and his upside, I think, is a little bit bigger. He has a higher ceiling. But if you wanted to plug in Kamara here, I just think Amari Cooper's a must-play. Either captain or flex. I think you have to have Amari Cooper. He's going to break the slate, and maybe he's a good fade then, because I'm sure a lot of people are thinking what I'm thinking, and that, Amari Cooper, I can't not have him tonight. He's going to do so well. He's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, he could be a sexy fade, but like I just won't be fading Amari Cooper. The only guy that's one of these top or high tier guys, I could see myself fading Zeke and Michael Thomas, but that's really about it. But for cash though, I do want to mention real quick in cash, I'm probably just gonna do this on a slate like this. I'm gonna go bang. I'm gonna go bang bang. Let's see what else we can get up to. We have 11,400 left. Oh boy, cash is tough. I don't really play a lot of cash in these showdown slates, but I like to give y'all at least a take on what I would do for cash. This might be the lineup where I just do something like that. Basically just target the Dallas Air game, which I actually like a lot. Kicker at captain, Alvin Kamara. I think that's a pretty good cash lineup. And then if you didn't want to do that and you want to just basically punt a player, we come down here and take Jarwin again, and that leaves you all the way up here to Michael Thomas. I mean, it's just got to be Jarwin. Can't be Harris. Deontay Harris hasn't done anything at all. Literally one target in 3 games, and he also fumbled last game, so we know Sean Payton's not going to love that. But that's pretty much all I got for you on this showdown slate. I'm feeling pretty confident, in all honesty, just kind of jamming Amari Cooper up there and playing Dak below him. One thing I did also want to mention, though, is if you did one of these, a little 3-way stack, and didn't run it back with Kamara or Thomas, and maybe hope that Dallas D has a big game or something like that, that's going to be very contrarian, to say the least. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that you could do on this slate to kind of differentiates yourself from the pack. I'm not going to really talk about Teddy Bridgewater too much. I'm not super high on him. He's a starting quarterback, and he's pretty cheap for a showdown slate. So um, he's also playing the Dallas defense, which I'm saying playing the Dallas defense is contrarian because they're not good. So maybe if you want to kind of be a little bit different, you could go Kamara and Bridgewater or something like that, or maybe even Thomas and Bridgewater. But no matter what I plug in, Amari Cooper will be somewhere in this lineup. So don't fade Cooper tonight is my word of advice. And then I hope that one of y'all or myself takes down the main GPP tonight, because I'm going to be playing it. And then if y'all are playing it too, send me your thoughts on Twitter. If you don't already follow me, the link is in the description below. Feel free to DM me anytime. I'm always happy to answer your questions there as well. But that's kind of where I can more I guess talk to you all about takes on what do I think about this lineup in particular, what would you do different, things like that. But these showdown slates are really fun for me to kind of go over and talk about with y'all one-on-one. So feel free to reach out in the DMs, and I will be on Twitter off and on all day today. So let's have a good NFL Sunday, and I think we're gonna crush it, to be honest. Make sure you get over here and get these lineups plugged in. This is gonna be a sick week 4.